It's wedding day. Everything's ready. They got the cake, a broom, a rope, some kola nuts. The in-laws are there. The best men are there. The bride and the bridesmaids are there. The groom, he AWOL. Ghost. Code 1042. We got ourselves a runner. Cat's got cold feet. Old boy's trying to back out. The best man, Mike, will occasionally break the fourth wall to assist with the narration of the story, while Mike is taking a role with the puncher's approach to the groom's absence. The other best man, Slim, is more ready to throw punches at the absentee groom. But I gotta say, it's easier to skip town than to get out of a marriage. Mike thinks back to when he arrived in the wood, aka Inglewood, California. His mom's moved around a lot, this time from North Carolina. So he arrives on the West Coast, but they make it seem like he dropped in from planet Mars. He's approached by two young brothers, Roland and Slim. They're having an in-depth debate over who's finer, Apollonia or Vanity. They then ask him about his gang affiliation. I stand corrected. Maybe the West is a little different than the South. The two agree to take Mike under their wing and show him the ropes. They're in their homeroom class and in walks Alicia. Okay, let me set something straight. The actress Malinda Williams was 29 years old when she played this role. I know it's hard to believe, but she was 29. So try to keep that in mind anytime I make a reference about her. The fellas let them know to get in line because every brother in school likes her. Mike is drooling over her, and at that age, the dick brain rules over the cranium brain, and Mike's blood flow heads south. Bad timing, cause at that moment, the teacher asks Mike to come to the front of the class and introduce himself. Now, if he walk up there with a heart on, he risks getting a nickname like Merv the Perv or something, and that shit might stick with him the rest of his life. Mike awkwardly covers his stuff and walks up to the front of the room. He then delivers one of the worst fake Southern accents in film history. The young actor is from the Bronx, so I'll cut him a little bit of slack, but he was damn close to sounding like some Stepin Fetchit up there. So they're at recess and Mike is fixated on Alicia, particularly that booty. Okay, once again, I want to restate. Malinda Williams was 29 when she played this role. Ro bets Mike that he won't go over and grab that ass. So he can't just stroll over there and grab it like some kind of deviant. He's got to get his angles right, factoring in the wind projections. Shit is science. Mike jogs over and gets a handful. Alicia reflexively spins around and lands blows to the nose. Mike runs back over to collect his winnings. Alicia is quick to follow. She lets him know that she's not one to be groped like some street chick. She's gonna tell her big brother about this. Now Slim and Ro conveniently omitted some information from Mike about Alicia. Her brother's a gangbanger. And ass kicking might be the least of Mike's problems. He might get shot out here. Mike is clock watching the rest of the day, knowing that the final bell is gonna bring hell. He gets hopeful that maybe Alicia will show some mercy and let bygones be bygones. But Alicia ain't having it. Our girl wants blood. Well, the final bell rings and Mike walks out, flanked by Slim and Ro. Just when he thought the coast was clear, code red. Alicia's brother Stacy steps to him. I tell you, red baseball caps have been ruined for me for the rest of my life. Mike is stumbling, trying to rationalize his offense as some sort of clumsy attempt to show affection towards Alicia. You know, an ass grab is how you show love. In a strip club. Stacy ain't buying it. Slim and Ro make a half-hearted attempt to interfere on Mike's behalf. Mike seizes the moment to sucker punch Stacy. Stacy sees red, blood red, cheap pun. He lights into Mike like a one-man jump in. The fellas and Alicia have to intervene before Stacy does some permanent damage to Mike. As Ro and Slim check in on Mike, Alicia stops to reflect on the compliment that Mike gave her before he ate them knuckles. Jump back forward. At the wedding, Slim and Mike get a page concerning Roland's whereabouts. The page is from Tanya, Ro's first love, and she is not the person that he's supposed to marry today. Tanya gives the guys her address and they're off to scoop up the boy. When they arrive at Tanya's place, Ro is drunk. Now, Ro ain't so drunk that he don't know it's his wedding day. He just got the yips about walking down the aisle. See, it goes against the nature of a true player to get married. I mean, he's still trying to squeeze it in one last time with his ex, Tanya. Slim has had enough of Ro's behavior and goes after him. Tempers cool down and heads get leveled and Mike ushers Ro out of the apartment. They arrive at the neighborhood convenience store in an attempt to freshen up the groom. Tic-tacs, and more tic-tacs. This jogs Mike's memories of their preparations before the school dances. Slim alludes to Mike not possessing God's gift to the black man. No, not that. The other thing. Rhythm. Jump back. Kiss yourself. Alicia questions Slim and Mike about their intentions of going to the school party. Slim is down, but Mike affirms with some hesitation. The young cat has never danced before, at least not in front of his peers. He lies to his boys that he knows how to cut a rug. He goes home and does his best impressions of moves that he's seen in music videos. He gets carried away and starts to role play, envisioning success with the ladies. Luckily, his moms came home and interrupted him before he resorted to bumping and grinding on a stuffed bunny rabbit. Moms is happy to see her young boy exploring the trials of manhood. She keeps it real with Mike that his dance moves are pure garbage. If the brother just sticks with the two-step, he'll be alright. It's the night of the school party. Ro and Slim are prepared to document their success. They have pen and paper to collect phone numbers. Mike is unprepared for this ritual, but no worry. Ro gives him his backup pen. Of course, these high-stake gamblers turn the phone number acquisition into a friendly wager. Before entering, they do a breath check. Yuck Mouth, Yuck Mouth, Yuck Mouth. They decide to head down to the corner store for refreshments. Inside the store, they make their way to the Tic Tacs. Before they make it to the cash register to check out, a couple of cats enter the spot and begin a stick-up. The guys try to hide, hoping that the whole episode plays out without them being noticed. But one of the robbers surprises Slim from behind. He calls out to the gunman, and the guys are brought out into the open. The gunman ain't fazed by the young'uns. He even recognizes them. Mike puts the voice together with the gunman. It's Stacy. Mike calls out his name. Pipe down, son. We don't use no government names during the progression of a felony. Stacy continues with the robbery, pausing to recall how fun those school parties were in his day. Stacy insists on driving the fellas back to the dance. They decline. He insists again. Nah, we good. Hey, don't make a G with a gun insist for a third time. They out. Mike and the guys find themselves riding along with a weed-smoking, gun-toting wild card. He offers to put the blunt into rotation, but the young'uns just say no. He excludes his co-banger Boo, who forgot to steal some papers. The vibe is good considering the circumstances, but then, the sound of the beast. Panic fills the car, except for Stacy. Stacy interacts with the police using the Queen's perfect English. Boo is over in the passenger seat, bitching out like a baby. Mike is in the back holding it together. The police order them out of the car and against the wall. Mike is thinking about being punked out on national TV. Stacy gets lippy with the cop, and Boo speaks up like he done found his nuts now. Cops begin to inspect the car, and Mike can see that a pistol is clearly visible on the rear floor. Mike begins to cough to distract the cops. Stacy recognizes his heads-up move. A call comes in over the police radio about a store robbery. Yes, the one that Stacy just pulled. The cops have to abandon their stop. Everyone heads back to the car, but Stacy stops Boo. That cat done been stripped of his passenger seat privileges. They make it back to the school party. Slim and Ro break out, but Stacy tells Mike to hang back. He offers Mike a my bad for whipping his ass earlier. He was just following orders from his little sister. Take that shit up with her. Stacy questions Mike on whether he's feeling Alicia. Emotionally, not physically. Mike appears reluctant of getting mixed up with this family of gangsters, but he admits that he sorta digs Alicia. Stacy gives Mike the cheat code to get with his sister. Some Luther Vandross, it sets her off. Stacy then brands Mike with a nickname, Big Mike. Boo then finds out that his passenger seat restriction applies even if it's just the two of them in the car, riding the back like a baby Mike. Mike rejoins the guys and it's time to get the party started. They walk into the auditorium. Probably smell like cocoa butter and Jerry curl spray up in there. Mike oversells his amazement. This one sister was a trailblazer, bringing that lap dancing from inside the club and into a high school dance. The pursuit of the phone numbers begin. Slim drags Mike over to two girls and they start to dance. Mike's dance moves are still garbage. Mike's dance partner keeps it classy and taps out. Mike went and took his seat at the end of the bench. Meanwhile, Ro and Slim are running up the numbers in the phone number competition. Slim joins Mike to find out that Mike done came up empty. No phone numbers at all. He encourages Mike to stop tripping and get to macking. Ro joins the combo and accurately surmises that Mike is stuck on Alicia. Ro almost plays Mike out by proxy macking Alicia. The night goes on and the crowd is thinning out. Then, Luther comes through the speakers. It's Alicia's song, If This World Was Mine. This is Mike's call to action. Alicia is alone, lip-syncing every word while effortlessly dismissing suitors. Mike begins the long walk over. He was walking so slow I thought the damn song would be finished by the time he got there. He pauses for the breath check. Their eyes meet. She's standing there like she's looking to get chose. Mike is understandably nervous. These are deep waters for a young cat like him. He begins to dance around the goal of asking her to dance. He finally asks, and she says yes. Our boys in the red zone. Take care of the ball, no turnovers. Time to put some points on the board. They get out there and do a little two-step slow drag. Alicia pulls him in, putting them things on his chest. I haven't mentioned it in a while, but Malinda Williams was 29 years old during this role. Alicia's breathing that warm breath on Mike's neck. Then, Mike goes for the move. Now the distance from the waist to the ass is about 7 or 8 inches, maybe 10 inches if she got one of them drop bottoms. But those inches can feel like a mile. First you gotta know what kind of woman you're dealing with. Now if she's a freak of the week, you can skip the whole waist and go straight to the ass. But if it's a woman of substance, you gotta play your cards close to the vest. At least Mike knows that if you go slowly, you provide her with plenty of opportunity to tap out. But if she gives you the green light, you just won the championship. By the way, it would be irresponsible of me if I didn't tell you that if you pulled this stunt in today's environment, you're taking a chance on losing everything. They will have your ass on the 10 o'clock news, getting locked up. So Mike has successfully pulled off the butt grab, and then predictably Mother Nature pushes things along. Dick gonna do what Dick gonna do. It's the way that nature intended. Mike tries to be a southern gentleman and protect Alicia by pushing her away. She's clueless to the head-to-head battle going on in this cat's pants. Oh boy swole all up like he got the mumps down there. Alicia pulls him back in tight, and she quickly got the point. Now, I will say that her reaction was a little overboard. She looked at this cat like he had it out or something. Time to wrap this party up before this brother go home with the sticky stuff in his drawers. Alicia is delighted about the night's events. Mike strikes while the iron's hot. He mans up and gets Alicia's phone number. Alicia goes to a ride, and there's Stacy, watching like a proud father. Mike got that gangster approval. The guys join Mike and they have easily surpassed him in phone numbers. But phone numbers are not created equally. Quality beats quantity every time. Mike wins the night. Jump back forward. Mike and Slim are driving Ro to the wedding. Ro is rambling about his uncertainty of getting locked down. He ain't tired of balling yet. Mike tries to reason with him. Slim is laser focused on the goal of getting Ro back to the wedding. But Ro's stomach is tussling with alcohol. Plus a car hitting bumps at high speed ain't helping. He yaks all over Slim's new car. Plus on Mike and Slim too. They pull over and push and shove a little bit, but the mission continues. They pop back up over Tanya's apartment. With only 2 hours before the wedding, Mike caters to Tanya's kinder nature, and she agrees to let them clean up and change. They wash off, change clothes, and get ready to head off. They swing by the cleaners to have the tuxedos cleaned before the wedding. They negotiate the owner down to a 1-hour time frame. They end up at their old hangout, the diner. This gives a more sober Ro an opportunity to explain his indecisiveness. Ro brings up that the guys initially had doubts about when he brought up the idea of marriage. But they remind him that the issue wasn't with him getting married, it was with him deferring to all of the bride's demands. Ro then turns the tables and challenges Mike about his breakup with Alicia. Mike explains it away as a long-distance problem. She moved to New York while he went to the Carolinas, even though he could have followed her to New York if he wanted to. The focus goes back to Ro and whether he loves his bride Lisa more than he loves macking in them streets. Ro then brings up the bet. The guys have aged into high school juniors. All of them are virgins and are dying to lose that label. Mike is ready to dump his girlfriend Monica after 2 months. That young brother's running an efficient relationship. Being degenerate gamblers, Ro proposes another bet. Nothing motivates like money. Well, except for what they're trying to get up in. They're going to put money into a pot until one of them pops the cork. The quest begins. These young cats pull out all of the tricks in their limited arsenal. Sweet talking, guilt tripping, begging, reasoning, fear tactics, and just straight up lying. The cats are striking out, and the pussy pot is growing to mega million proportions. Shit, they got enough money in that pot for all three of them to go out and buy. Never mind. The guys continue their pursuit. Mike and Alicia didn't work out, but they remain friends. She's looking out for Mike to keep those grades up so that both of them can get into a good university. Slim is in disbelief how Mike managed to mess things up with Alicia. At study hall, Mike and Alicia are talking about Mike's dogged determination to get laid. She tries to give him some game and explain that for women it's more than just a physical act. Some subtle innuendo in their discussion suggests that the flame isn't out between the two. They break from the library. On the way home, they talk about the homecoming dance and the partners that they're going with. Alicia asks Mike if he wants to see the dress that she's going to wear to the dance. Sure. They get up to her bedroom. She shows him the dress. He approves. I mean, it could have been a trash bag and he still would have approved. Mike learns that Alicia has lured him into her room and they're all alone. She innocently takes off her shoes and socks, and that alone got Mike's blood racing. She sat on the bed, but he had to get away from her. The slightest physical contact and his cat might explode. Suddenly, Alicia's old song comes on the radio. Good looking out, Luther. The two begin to reminisce about the past. First time that he saw her, the booty grab, Stacy's beat down, the dance. Alicia remembers that while the dance was nice, Mike wasn't much of a dancer. Mike comes back that these days, he gets down on the good foot. He requests a do-over on the dance. She complies. He makes a joke about how his boner stopped the show that night. Opportunity, regret, attraction, lust, and perhaps real love starts joining forces like the Avengers. Alicia's got them things pressed against Mike's chest again. So the chemistry starts chemistrying, and the two mutually decide to go for it. And yes, they are sexually responsible. Well, sort of. Mike is carrying around a Trojan from the first line of production, an OG condom. He's probably got that round condom impression on the outside of his wallet too. He rips the package open. He then has that 2-second brain glitch where he pondered which way it rolls. He gets strapped and turns around. Alicia recoils. Either Mike is carrying, or Alicia's never seen one wearing a mask. They proceed to do the deed. She's 29 years old. Alicia threatens violence. Hey, some folk got that pleasure and pain kink, I guess. Mike don't know what he's doing. He's hurting her. I'm pretty sure the cat was riding high. Well, condoms ain't carbon-14. Sometimes they break. And Mike, he ain't got no backup. Alicia sends him to her felonious brother's room to get another condom. Mike makes his way down the hall and into Stacy's room. He's fumbling around in the dark, having trouble finding the condoms. Downstairs, someone enters the house. It's Stacy and one of his old ladies. They're headed upstairs for some passionate lovemaking. Well, probably not lovemaking. Mike finally finds the condom, but he has to duck under the bed as Stacy and his girl enter the room. The two begin to heat it up. The girlfriend then goes over to Stacy's drawer. She happens to be one of those condom counting chicks. She notices that one of Stacy's condoms is missing, the one that Mike has. This starts a fight. The girlfriend heads out of the room with Stacy chasing her with his dick out. This gives Mike the chance to get back to Alicia. When he returns, the two agree that there ain't no stopping them now. It must be fate. Mike climbs back on the saddle. Pump 1. Pump 2. Omaha. Pump 3. Hike. This is the face that you make when you reach the point of no return. We're going to call this one at around 6.2 seconds, give or take a second. The two bask in the aftermath. Now they're boyfriend and girlfriend. Technically, Mike won the bet, but he never cashed in because he didn't want to sully the moment. Jump back forward. Roland is finally coming around to his senses. He realizes that Lisa is the woman that he wants to grow old and ugly with. He's ready to let his player card expire. Mike does what a best man should do and gives him the space to back out of it. That way, if it goes bad, Mike can always say, I tried to give you an out, but you wouldn't take it. But Ro is for show. Let's go get married. They arrive at the wedding and have to walk through an alligator pit of angry in-laws and murderous bridesmaids. Mike volunteers to go speak with the bride, Lisa. Let's just say she ain't exactly in a diplomatic mood. Mike suggests bringing her and Roland together to discuss this hiccup, but she is true to the don't see the bride till the march superstition. So I guess she's still down to get married. Outside, violent tactics are being employed against Ro. He is begging for forgiveness. Mike comes out and lets Ro know that ain't helping. Don't worry, he's got the bride on the ropes in there. Ro slides Mike something to show Lisa. When Mike gives Lisa the object, it softens her demeanor. It's a ticket stub from the concert where they first met. That was kind of too easy. One ticket stub and everything's okay all of a sudden. Call me a pessimist, but I suspect that Roland is going to hear about this day every day for the rest of his life, or until the divorce, whichever comes first. Disaster has been averted. Let the wedding ceremonies begin. Last flashback. Outside the homecoming dance, Roland tells the guys that he plans to ball till he falls. He can't seem to rationalize why they should ever get out of the game. As long as they bros, they're gonna rock these women. The guys pledge to space-age pimping forever. Inside the dance, Alicia approaches Mike in a dress that a 29-year-old might wear. They walk off together. Okay, now we're back at the wedding. Downstairs, Mike spots Alicia, all growed up and growed out. Time for the wedding. No play-by-play here. You've seen a wedding before, and there was nothing special about this one. Afterwards, Mike and Alicia hook up on the dance floor. He asks her how's that New York City living working out. They keep the conversation light and jokey. Mike adjusts to a more serious tone. He asks her just how cold is New York City, implying that maybe he could see himself moving there to restart their romance. At the reception, Mike stands to make the best man speech. He reflects how initially the marriage engagement got him down because he'd be losing time with his best friend. But he came to realize that Roland's happiness exceeds any other feelings he had. He wishes the best to the couple. He then expresses his love for his brothers, Roland and Slim. And finally, they make a toast to the wood.